counseling once a week to work on our own shit. Excuse my language. I don't know if you can cuss on these things. And then once a month, we come together as a couple and have couples counseling. That on those terms, I'll do it. And he said, no counseling. And I said, well, that's a divorce. And we split up after 20 plus years of marriage. And we had been married 22 years by the time we divorced. So that divorce sent me into a really self-destructive, I was trying really hard to keep my head above water, but it was very difficult because I didn't understand the pain that I had for so many years and didn't work through it. So that brought on the alcoholism and everything so much more. And I've had to finally move out of the house that we owned together in 2019. I did in spring, and I was moving into a friend's house and renting a room who I knew she would not approve of drugs. So I refused to bring drugs into her home because I just didn't want to disrespect her. And that amped up my drinking to where my drinking was so out of control. I couldn't even have alcohol in front of me and not drink it. So by June of that year, I crashed my car, totaled my car. By the grace of God, I didn't hurt myself or anyone else. And then I started my recovery journey on June 20th.
So it was the car accident that was like the catalyst.
Yeah, I'm sure it was only like, 10 seconds between when I hit the first wrought iron fence panel and when I landed in a marsh. But literally, I had like a 45-minute conversation with myself during that period. And it was like, okay, this is it. No more running. This is it. You're going to figure this out one way or the other. I know you don't know how, but we're going to figure this out. And I ended in my family came together and got me into a program here in Hemet, California, which is an incredible program, Hemet Valley Recovery Center. And I healed so much in 2 months there. It made a huge difference in my life.
My goodness. What a story. And what about your kids?
For a short while after my husband and I separated, my daughter was very distant. She's the oldest, and she had my ex-husband actually ended up living with her and her boyfriend because she was an adult at this point. And I think because of the complication of that, my daughter's a no BS kind of person. And she was like, I can't deal with both of you kind of thing, and I was much more outwardly a mess than my ex-husband because my ex-husband always stayed calm and cool and collected. And I would be like, I don't know what's going on. I'm upset. I would vocalize. Yeah. So that was more difficult for her to manage. And my codependency, I'm sure, felt like icky to her. You know what I mean? Because it didn't make any sense to her. She's a very strong individual, and my kids are amazing. My daughter's married. She has 2 kids. I have a grandson who's 11 and a granddaughter who's 8.5. And she's 30. She'll be 32 in September, and my son will just turn 28, and he's with a wonderful woman. And I'm really, really grateful for their individualism and their strength. And they do, like, my son suffers from anxiety and things like that. And I think some of that has to do with the uncertainty that happened in his childhood a little bit. And I really believe that Josh and I, my ex-husband and I, Josh, we would have been unstable regardless of the drugs and alcohol. The drugs and alcohol just didn't help. Like, we both pushed each other's buttons so strongly. But I have really good relationships, I think, with both of them now, and I feel very good about who I was as a mom. I literally did the best I could in every moment. I I was always looking for a way to be healthier or be